Today, in this explainer, we're going to focus heavily on the 8 core monetization models. We're going to look at exactly how you can take an app from literally zero revenue and turn it into a rock-solid, sustainable business. Let's just dive right in. Here's our roadmap for today's explainer. We'll start with the harsh reality of the app graveyard. Then, we'll break down those 8 core revenue models. After that, we'll look at how combining models drive success, followed by how to avoid some truly fatal revenue mistakes. And finally, we'll wrap up with how to choose your winning strategy. All right, section 1, the app graveyard reality. So here's the deal. There are literally millions of apps just sitting in the app stores right now. And the shocking reality? The vast majority of them make exactly $0 a month. Zilch. Or, maybe just enough to buy a cheap cup of drip coffee. Definitely not funding any fancy oat milk lattes. And listen, it's usually not because they're bad apps. It's because they completely lack a strategy. People build a beautiful product and just kind of assume the money will figure itself out. Spoiler alert, it doesn't. But on the flip side, you can't just slap a giant paywall on every single tap and expect to get rich overnight. It's all about finding what we call monetization product fit. Kind of like product market fit, right? Your revenue model has to feel completely natural inside the app. If you just pick a model purely for profit and ignore the user experience, you're going to quietly drive everyone away. As the saying goes, follow the money too greedily, and users follow the exit. Which brings us to section 2, the 8 core revenue models. First up on our menu is Freemium. Now, what's truly fascinating here is the underlying psychology. The app itself is totally free to download, right? That completely removes the biggest barrier to entry. But here is the secret weapon, sunk cost psychology. Think about it. Once a user has invested their own time into your free app, maybe they've spent time customizing a profile, building up a habit streak, or finishing a few tasks, they are so much more likely to pull out their wallet to keep going. They've already invested in your ecosystem. Next up, we have the undisputed darling of the app economy, subscriptions. Investors and developers absolutely love subscriptions because of that sweet, predictable, recurring revenue. And notice the pricing psychology playing out here. You've got anchor pricing, always showing your highest tier first. It makes that middle tier look like an absolute steal, right? And don't forget char pricing. It is a proven psychological fact that $9.99 just feels significantly cheaper to us than $10 flat. Plus, subscribers actually churn way less than one-time buyers because you're building a real, ongoing relationship with them. All right. Model number 3, in-app purchases, or IAPs. The absolutely crucial distinction to make here is between consumables and non-consumables. Consumables are things like, say, virtual currency or extra lives in a mobile game. They are spent and gone. That means users are going to buy them over and over again, which is just amazing for lifetime value. Non-consumables, on the other hand, are one-time unlocks, like unlocking a premium photo filter. When you set up a virtual economy like this, it triggers something called loss aversion. Basically, users do not want to lose their hard-earned progress, and that drastically accelerates your conversions. Moving on to our 4th model, in-app advertising. Comparing these formats side by side shows us just how much the ad world has matured. But man, you really have to choose wisely to protect your user experience. Notice how banner ads have pretty low revenue potential, and let's be honest, they mostly just clutter up the UI. Interstitials, they bring in higher revenue, sure, but they represent a really high risk if you interrupt the user right in the middle of a task. But look at rewarded video. High revenue, positive user experience. Why? Because it actually respects the user by giving them a choice. They opt in to watch an ad in exchange for a tangible reward. It's a massive win-win for everyone. Model 5 is the classic paid download. You pay up front, zero free tier. Now, while this model is definitely shrinking in overall market share, I promise you it is absolutely not dead. It remains highly, highly effective for niche professional tools or highly specialized utilities. And the reason is simple. Subscription fatigue is very real right now. For certain highly specific tools, offering a straightforward buy once, use forever deal is actually an incredible competitive differentiator. Rounding out our 8 core models, we have a group of 3 external revenue streams. First, sponsorships. This is where brands pay a flat fee or revenue share to reach your highly engaged niche audience. Then there's affiliate marketing, which lets you earn commissions on natural in-app recommendations. Think of a recipe app naturally linking out to a grocery delivery service. And finally, data and B2B licensing. You can actually sell aggregated, anonymized data to researchers. But hear me clearly on this one. If you decide to touch data licensing, strict privacy compliance with things like GDPR, CCPA, and App Store guidelines is absolutely not optional. It is literally the law. So when we map this entire menu out, the trade-offs become crystal clear. You can see right away how subscriptions and IAPs offer a very high revenue ceiling, but they definitely come with much higher complexity to build. Paid apps, low complexity, but they've got a lower revenue ceiling. Honestly, it's incredibly helpful to use a matrix just like this to mentally shortlist your own options based on what you specifically are actually building. Okay, moving to section 3, combining models for success. Now, you might be asking yourself this exact question right now. Can I use multiple models at the very same time? And the answer is a resounding yes. In fact, hybrid monetization is pretty much the absolute norm for successful apps today. The goal is to creatively layer complementary revenue streams to really maximize your earnings. But the crucial distinction here is between a successful hybrid and a toxic one. A highly effective combo would be something like freemium plus subscriptions plus rewarded ads. You just segment your users. Free users see the ads, paying subscribers don't. It's simple, it's fair, and it adds actual value. But look at the toxic combinations. Showing interstitial ads to users who are already paying you a monthly subscription fee? Oh man, that is the ultimate trust destroyer. Or slamming a brand new user with aggressive ads and a hard paywall at the exact same time? These toxic combos are basically a guaranteed way to rack up one-star reviews and uninstalls. Section 4, avoiding fatal revenue mistakes. A totally crucial and often fatal pricing mistake is misjudging your free trial length. If you have an app with a really fast aha moment, think a fun game or a super simple meditation app, you need a short 3 to 7 day trial. Hit them quick. But if you have, say, a complex project management tool, the user is just not going to see the return on investment in 3 days. They need a solid 14 to 30-day trial to get it. If you misjudge this timeline, it will completely ruin your trial to paid conversion rate. Let's rapid fire through a few more of these silent revenue killers. First up, retrofitting a monetization model post-launch. Please don't do this. It breaks your user experience and totally alienates your early adopters. Second, setting and forgetting your pricing. Markets shift all the time. You need to be reviewing your pricing at least quarterly. Third, and this is a massive one, ignoring the 15 to 30% platform commission. Apple and Google are going to take their cut. If you charge $10, you are only taking home about $7 to $8.50. You absolutely must factor that into your unit economics from day one. And finally, never, ever misread your free users as non-valuable. They provide the word of mouth, the social proof, and those vital App Store reviews that feed your entire funnel. And finally, Section 5, choosing your winning strategy. All right, here is our monetization product fit framework. 5 core steps to success. First, define the user relationship. Is your app a daily habit or a one-time utility? Second, identify exactly when your app delivers value, because that is exactly when you ask for payment. Third, assess willingness to pay by doing some deep research on your competitors. Fourth, map your model to your overall growth strategy. Remember, ads need high volume, subscriptions need high retention. And fifth, validate this with a minimum viable product test. You've got to test your pricing early. Treating revenue like a continuously tested product feature, complete with its own roadmap and A/B testing, is just completely non-negotiable today. And that brings us to the end of our explainer. You now have the complete strategic roadmap to escape the app graveyard. It's time to stop building zero revenue apps and start building a real sustainable business by baking your monetization strategy into your core product from day one. So I want to leave you with this final provocative thought. Take a hard look at what you are building today. Based on everything we just covered about these 8 core models, what monetization model is actually working for your app right now? Challenge your assumptions, test your models, and go build something profitable.